This is Kat from Catskinder, where you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and TBT with one whole product that's free that I think has about 30 downloads on it in 4 years. Welcome to my channel. I am brand new to this. I feel a little bit stupid staring at a camera sitting in my guest bedroom by myself talking, and my dogs are outside looking at me like I'm crazy. And the reason I wanted to start this channel was because I follow some incredible people on Instagram and on Facebook, on YouTube. I follow amazing teachers who have such wonderful ideas and are so creative. And it really inspires me to try better and work on all those things for myself. One thing that I've noticed is that I'm not them, and that's totally okay. And I hope that everyone else feels like that's totally okay. You're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to get grumpy. You're allowed to have your feelings hurt from crappy parent emails that sometimes we get. And I just kind of want to take you guys on my journey and show you how I'm trying to better myself, or show you some ideas that I have. And I am well aware that I am not a crazy, beautiful, artsy-fartsy Pinterest teacher, but I'm gonna try, and I want to take you guys on the journey with me. One thing that I thought would be a cool video to start with is a summer classroom clutter video. When the kids left, I think it's almost been about 3 weeks since the kids left, I have spent hours and hours and hours in my classroom with trash bags, just purging my room and dumping it. And I wish I would have started filming it before, so you guys could see the transformation it's made so far. But when you walk into my room, like you guys will see, it's by no means clean or organized, but I'm gonna try. And you guys are gonna be able to see what it looks like now and how I hopefully will be able to have it at the start of the school year in a couple of months. So sit back, enjoy. Hopefully it's not too long of a video, and thanks for joining me. So when you first come in, it is super bright and messing with the lighting. We do have classroom mobiles. We are at a school that is outside, so when the students open up my door, they're not in a hallway, they're actually outside on sidewalk, and our bathrooms are outside, the kids eat outside, our lunchroom is outside, everything is outside for them. So when they come in from outside, I have a mat, I think that's IKEA. I have some kids that like to come in and bring some mud, and I also have kids that love to come and dump their sand in from the playground. So the mat's just like a little reminder of, hey, make sure you don't bring that into our classroom, we need to take care of it. This fridge, it does not just hang out in front of the door. Excuse me. That's just there because it was defrosting outside for the summer, and I haven't moved it back to where it belongs. So these are sliding, that one's not moving. Oh, that's why. So these are sliding doors, so normally I pull and that whole thing is covered. When I moved into this room, it was 3 years ago, I had a lot of wonderful teachers that tried to give me a bunch of stuff, which was super appreciative, but I just didn't know what to do with it. And so I shoved it into this drawer, and I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't reached for it for about 3 years. So when I came in right after the kids had left at the beginning of summer, I started redoing all of my cabinets. So that's one thing that I'm going to be working on this summer, is trying to be more organized with the space that I do have. So in this, we have, up there is just a bunch of stuff that I just didn't have places for because everything is displaced until they're done cleaning. Same, that glue does not belong there. That was just put there because I didn't have space for it in the other spot. And I have writing paper, extra papers here. This is like my happy place right there. That's like extra pieces of paper that don't have a home, and the kids can come and take that. And then my construction paper. This is a bunch of science materials, and that is a pile of junk that basically got moved from one table to another table to another table while I was trying to clean, and it just found its home there because I was done messing with that pile of junk. the paper readers for the kids, and that is a potty bucket that we take out when we do lockdown and fire drills. The potty bucket comes with us, and it's one kid's job to carry that. I'm not going to move that, but if you were to go in here, it would have more storage and pencil boxes and mailboxes for the kids. So this is new. I just put that up once the kids left. That's going to be new for this year. I think I saw, oh, she's a 5th grade teacher, Miss Fifth, I think. I saw that she had burlap borders, and I thought it was really cool. I just went to Joann Fabrics and got I got burlap, and I cut it into strips, and then what I would do is I would just put a staple in and then turn it, put a staple in and then turn it, and do a zigzag pattern basically. And that's how I got that border. I'm gonna be honest, it's stinky. I had my custodian come in and smell it, and I asked for his opinion, and he had a cold and he was still able to smell it. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. It looks awesome. I'm trying to be better about making my space look nice. However, if it's gonna be stinky, I don't think it's gonna be worth it. Up here I have some lights and things that go on the ceiling that necessarily shouldn't be there. And I keep my own clock just because my classroom clock is never on the right time. So that's just a $1 fine from IKEA. So these are clothespins that have been hot glued to the other set of cabinets, and I just put some black paint and some glitter. Anyone who knows me personally knows that I have a really hard time with glitter. Like that right there is gonna bug me for the rest of the day. But it looks nice and the kids like it, and it's still darker colors. I like how it looks. So each kid gets construction paper and their writing goes up there. So if they're working on narrative, their newest piece goes there. We use a writing program, Lucy Calkins, and so this is where their published work goes. These haven't been completely organized, but it's made so much progress from how it looked. Up there is just a bunch of art supplies. That is from testing out a window marker to see if it worked, and it was still working. It had been like 6 years old. I have a bunch of extra supplies in here. Scissors. I don't know what my problem is, but I hoard glue sticks like nobody's business. I don't know if I just feel like I might run out, and so this basket, I mean, look at this thing, it's horrendous. So that needs to be gone through and even make sure if the glue sticks even work at this point, or if they've been dried up. These, I don't like white glue, to be honest with you. I think it makes a really big mess, so when in doubt, I always try to use this type of glue first, and then I'll go to the white glue. I mean, you'll hear me say it 5 million times, I am not your typical kindergarten teacher. I don't like art projects. I'm not artsy fartsy. I try my best, but having to use this glue just drives me nuts. So we only use that when we have to, and then I just refill these with that big bottle that you had seen in that first cupboard. Extra erasers. The kids never have enough of these. These are awesome. These are tongue compressors. I think this is an unopened box, but I use these big, I'm just gonna rip that then. We use these big tongue compressors for different activities. The kids love it for a sight word game that I'll show you, and honestly it is probably the cheapest word work game that I have. It's literally just popsicle sticks and like a bucket from the dollar section of Target, but it's their favorite game. I use the big crayons for the kinder kiddos. Each kiddo has their own pencil box, and they already have all their supplies in there. They have one glue stick, one scissor, one whole set of these, and erasers and pencils. And I actually had my kids from this year clean out the pencil boxes and then organize the pencil boxes for next year's kids, so I didn't have to do that this year. And then in here is just a bunch of teacher junk. The kids use pens when doing their Lucy writing, so those are in there. Extra ink and window markers and things like that. In here, there's extra paint, markers, expo markers are life. I don't like a lot of paper pencil work. I love when the kids get to use whiteboards, and we have really, really big whiteboards that I can have like 4 kids working on at a time. So I love, love, love those. I hoard those too. Same, I don't know what my thing is with school supplies, but I think all teachers feel like that. This is a huge box of markers. I mean, obviously it says it in here, and I've had this for 2 years and I've never had to break into it because I do have so many leftover of these. I have a box that just has different kinds of tape. I have a box that just has extra crayons, even though I love these tubs. I either get them from Target or Walmart, but sometimes it gets annoying because when, I don't remember if it's the Target brand that has the square edges. Actually, these both have square edges, so these might be Target, they might be Walmart, but one has square and one has round edges, and so I just need to stop going back and forth and just pick one brand to buy these from, so that the kids stop having to spend 5 minutes looking to see if it's a circle tub or a square tub. But I have like 3 tubs completely full of markers that are, or crayons that are not in containers. So these ones these have been sitting there for a while. This is just an assorted drawer of stuff. Same with this. I have a bunch of extra things in here that I don't get to often, which is why it's on the bottom drawer. These are just extra crayons. I can't get myself to throw them out, but I know there's companies that we can do a crayon drive and donate them to, and they'll repurpose these. So I didn't want to throw them in the trash because I know that other people can find a home for them. So those are just going to stay until I have time to actually organize that. These are actually aprons my mom likes to sew, and she's made pocket buddies for us in the past. And so I have a bunch of different aprons. This one's Hello Kitty. I have Superwoman. I have just patterns. So this whole box is full of things like that. Some old pocket buddies that aren't in use right now. And I like to break those out when we're doing science or art, and the kids really love it. I'm not going to go too in depth with these, but these have different levels of material. I have books. Most of these are mine, but some of them are the school's. So like this box and this box are school property, but all of these are mine, which is why they have my my last name on them. So I labeled everything that was mine so that when the time comes that I have to switch schools or switch grade levels, everything that was bought with school money will stay. So this whole thing is filled with books. This entire thing was filled with books. These are a lot of my like word work material and extra games. I get so many games from Scholastic with Scholastic points, and these are for students who finish with their work but are just sitting there or twiddling their thumbs. So they get to go do, I call them cabinet games, and they think they're playing fun games, but they're actually learning. So we're gonna trick them with that. But I can go more in depth with that if you guys want, like some of the games that I use and some of the kids' favorites, like what's worth spending your points on, and more word work stuff. These are used for some of my special kiddos that need break time. So this one we set a timer and they have to dig for treasure. So it's kinetic sand, so it's not going to make a huge mess. I can't even find, here's a piece of treasure. So there's actually just different colored and sized beads. Some of them are bigger. This one's probably a medium-sized one. And some of them are super small. So they're working on their fine motor skills, but they're also just getting a break. So sometimes I've used things like this for kiddos who need a break, and sometimes it's used for a reward for those kiddos. I have one kid that just, I mean, he would do anything for me if he got to go dig for treasure. So I would set a timer and we would go do that, and it's kinetic sand, so it didn't make a mess on your fingers, and then they can go do their work once they're done with that stuff. And again, I can show you guys more of that if you want. This is a bunch of stuff that had to come off of the walls. I hate that it's blue. I would prefer they're black, but I do have one black one. I saw that they were starting to make pocket, oh my goodness, what are these called? My mind is just leaving me, but they're starting to make them in black instead of just the normal blue colors that they've had. So maybe I'll start to replace some of this stuff, but all of that's going to go back on the walls once I'm allowed to start working in here again and once the room's actually closed. Same with this one. This one has books. These are listening center books that I have for the kiddos. Where is it? This one is right in front. This one is one of my favorites. The kids think it's so funny. This whole cabinet is Treasure Box, and that is one of the prizes kiddos can pick for their dojo points. So if you go in here, I mean, these things are just filled with prizes. I also have extra books. Some of them are the free ones that you get with Scholastic orders, and some of them I just purchase or have extra copies of. And the kids get really excited when they think they're taking home my books that they get to that they get as a reward. Up here is just a bunch of math manipulatives that I have, and if you guys want, I can go more in depth with that stuff. But over here will eventually be their listening station. I have flexible seating in this classroom. It's not fancy like some people, but one of the flexible seating options are these rolly chairs. It doesn't bother me that the kids are rolling across the floor as long as they're getting their work done. I mean, that's what actually matters to me. This computer is used for Class Dojo. I don't control giving students points. They are in control of it. So they're responsible for that. So I have that computer set up for that. Please excuse that mess. My butt knocked over the pencil sharpener onto the floor, and I could only get up a certain amount of mess, but luckily my custodian saw it and thought it was funny, and he wasn't mad. So here I have the big obnoxious TV. It's kind of a pain because of this stand like sticks out, and because of how wide that is, and because of this, there's only certain places that'll fit in the room. I have not kept it here during the school year. Right now it's just kind of pushing up against the wall. I'm not sure how that's exactly going to look, but that's what we use instead of having a projector. So my document camera goes up to that, and my computer, when we're having a good tech day, will project onto that, but that doesn't always happen. These are ugly cabinets. Normally it's that pink color, but this summer I covered that pink color up. Some spots, like right here, look pretty good. That spot down there is driving me nuts, but you know what, you just have to let some things go. So like in these cabinets, this one is like a cleaning cabinet. It has the pencil sharpener that I knocked over, different sandwich bags, cleaning products. This is just stuff. That's a cat cookie jar that has a really awesome story that goes with it, that I can tell you guys later. My messy sink. The water fountain does not work, so this area is actually blocked off from students with my U-shaped desk, so I don't feel too bad blocking off the sink, but the drinking fountain spews water and then it floods, and then it's a big mess, so the kids don't use that. This is my area. So I got rid of my teacher's desk, and basically the U table functions as my teacher desk. This isn't the exact position it's in, but again, it's summer, so it's not exactly beautiful, but it is what it is. And let's not talk about what that is. I had exploding oatmeal, and then it turned into a big mess, and I just haven't cleaned it up. I have the fridge lives over here, and the microwave lives on top of it. I love this. This is from IKEA. I think a lot of teachers have this nowadays. I wish it was in black when I had bought it, and it was only in this color. That's okay. I like that color too, but eventually I would like everything in black. I have my teacher stuff. This is the one area that the kids aren't allowed to use supplies in, so a lot of this is mine. the kids don't mess with the cart. I put like reading group stuff all in there. I switched this summer, so all of this is new, and we'll see how it actually works. So this is where I have my books. The kids don't mess with those. And I've switched all of my filing to be binder, so I don't have a file cabinet in here anymore. If you want, I can talk about what that stuff is later. Reading book, these are Fontes and Pinnell books. They're leveled, and sometimes they can be nice when you're working with specific reading groups. I love, love, love this. When I moved into this room 8 years ago, I had nothing but 3 broken boom boxes and these tables. So everything else I've either bought or accumulated. That was one that a teacher sent an email to us and asked if anyone wanted it before she put it out into the hallway. And it took me about 2 minutes to email her, and I said, yes, 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 I want it. It's awesome. I keep a bunch of supplies here. Those are some old school whiteboards. Those are some nicer ones from Scholastic. Science journals that accidentally did not go home. Those need to be sent to the first graders. Love, love, love that chair. That was from Donors Choose. These things are all from IKEA. That's Scholastic. That's IKEA. That's Lakeshore. That's my writing station. So right now there's nothing. I mean, you can't even tell it's supposed to be a writing board. But eventually, when I have time after they clean the room, I'll be able to start working with that. I love this carpet. I like the carpet square concept. They all have a home base. Again, I do flexible seating, so I don't have assigned areas where the kids have to do their work. They have a home base, which is where their name tags are, and they use those little cubbies. Normally I don't use those, but halfway through this year I turned the tables around so they could. Normally the tables are facing the opposite way, so they're not able to get into those cubbies. The kids have to stay there when I'm doing attendance in the morning, and that's where they do their morning work and their attendance. But after that, the kids get to sit wherever they want, obviously within reason. They need to be comfortable in order to get their work done, and I'm totally okay with that. So the kids pick what and where they want to go. Those are from IKEA. I use those with the horseshoe table, which I'm sitting at. I'm the worst teacher when it comes to sitting on furniture. I do it all the time. The kids know I do it. And I mean, who cares that I'm sitting on furniture? I'm comfortable. I'm happy. It makes them comfortable. It makes them happy. So those go onto the U table. The kids sit on top of those. The kids have an assigned spot on the carpet, marker, and I have, where is it? There's popsicle stain here somewhere. And then I had one of my special friends, there was a sub in the classroom, and he took Sharpie to a spot that's over there, which I don't even know how he got a hold of a Sharpie, but that's okay. It's just a carpet, and it was Donors Choose. So I think these are like $400 rugs. They're expensive, but that's okay. Life goes on. It's just a carpet. All of these book bins are not organized, but my goal, again, this summer is to start working on those. There's a bunch of writing supplies and some random things that were shoved in there because the students were helping me clean at the last day, and we had to have the top of everything taken down. I took, last year, or maybe 2 years ago, I took the legs off of all the tables. So these sit on the floor. My kids actually sit on the floor when they're working at these 2 tables. And then this part of the room is also a mess, but that's okay. It's nice to see where it started, and then I'll be able to see where it's going. Again, this whole thing is just a mess, and it bothers me that those are not spaced correctly, but that can all be fixed in due time. And here is what my classroom looks like in the summer before I'm allowed to come in and organize and revamp everything. And I will check back in with you guys once it is all done, and I'll definitely do a classroom tour once I'm able to get the ball rolling on that. All right, thank you.